were Jim Crow laws based on race. Have you ever wondered how laws could shape society in such a profound way? The Jim Crow laws are a prime example of this. So, were these laws based on race? The answer is a resounding yes. Jim Crow laws were a collection of state and local statutes enacted mainly in the southern United States after the Reconstruction era. Their primary aim was to enforce racial segregation and maintain white supremacy. These laws legally separated African Americans from whites in various public spaces, education, transportation, and even voting rights. They institutionalized discrimination by treating individuals differently based solely on their race. This meant that African Americans were denied equal access to facilities and civil rights that were available to white citizens. From a libertarian perspective, these laws representing a clear violation of the principle that government should treat all individuals equally. Classical libertarianism, which is rooted in classical liberalism, argues that the government must protect individual rights without discrimination. Therefore, Jim Crow laws stand in direct opposition to these libertarian ideals. They used government power to impose racial discrimination rather than to protect individual liberty and equal rights. Libertarians believe that the government should not only refrain from discrimination, but also protect citizens from private violence and discrimination. In the Jim Crow South, the state often failed to protect African Americans from violence and intimidation. This effectively supported a racial caste system. To dismantle Jim Crow, federal intervention became necessary. This meant invalidating these laws or taking over local governments to prevent violence. Many libertarians have recognized that relying solely on local governments was impractical. They supported federal civil rights legislation, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, to dismantle legalized racial segregation. While libertarianism generally opposes government intervention, the historical reality of Jim Crow shows that government enforcement was sometimes required to protect minority rights against entrenched racial discrimination and violence. This included federal laws that invalidated segregation ordinances and protected voting rights. These actions were essential to breaking the Jim Crow system. In summary, Jim Crow laws were explicitly racial laws enforcing segregation and discrimination against African Americans. They violated the libertarian principle of equal treatment under the law by institutionalizing racial discrimination. From a libertarian viewpoint, the government should not discriminate but must protect individuals from discrimination and violence. Ending Jim Crow required federal government intervention to invalidate discriminatory laws and protect civil rights. Many libertarians acknowledge that, despite their general opposition to government power, civil rights legislation was necessary to uphold liberty and equality in this context.